Mediator pattern. So as I said before, behavioral patterns are the patterns that are concerned with the communication between objects, right? So media pattern is another pattern through which objects are communicating kind of indirectly, okay? So what is it? It defines an object called the mediator that encapsulates how a set of objects interact. So all objects are going to interact through a mediator. Okay, they do not interact directly. Instead, they are going to interact through mediator. When to use it? Use it when loose coupling is desired between communicating objects by keeping objects from referring to each other explicitly, and it lets you vary their interaction independently. Well, the thing is that if you are calling another object directly, then you are basically having those two objects to be tightly coupled. Okay, by using mediator, you're basically asking all these objects to communicate through this mediator, so they do not know each other, and that's a good thing. Those objects are loosely coupled because they do communicate through intermediary mediator. Okay, participants. Mediator, this is an interface for communication. It basically defines a set of methods that could be invoked by colleague objects. So these colleague objects are the ones they want to communicate through mediator. And the concrete mediator actually implements this mediator interface, and it actually coordinates the communication between the colleague objects. So you could have, in fact, a multiple concrete mediator classes implementing mediator. Okay. Because the colleague classes are using only mediator interface, even though you change the concrete mediator later on in the future, the colleague classes and colleague classes do not need to be changed. Okay. All right. So let's see. So this is pretty simple again pattern. The typical mediator pattern people use to explain it is like a chat room. Okay, so in a chat room, when there are multiple chatters in the chat room, they do not actually communicate directly. Instead, they communicate through the chat room intermediary mediator. Okay, so in this case, we have defined the chat room that is so I have a interface chat room. So these are the behaviors that will be implemented by the concrete implementation, but these are the methods that will be used by the colleague object. Okay, so colleague object just knows these methods: post message to all, send message, and create channel. So it will create a channel between two chatters, chatter 1 and chatter 2, and then post messages to all. This is to send a message to everyone in that chat room, and send message to channel. So here the sender will actually send the message to the channel, and the channel is the one that will be sending the message to the destination chatter. Okay, so chat room is the implementation of it. Basically, it has a set of channels, and then it implements post message all, create channel, and send message to channel. So these are concrete implementation of these methods, and depending on the scheme of communication, implementation could be different. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we just happen to use a channel concept here. Okay. Each channel is one conversation or something like that. And chatter is basically a chatter that contains a name, and it obviously has to have a reference to a chat room object, and that's the one. So chat room will be injected through the constructor of the chatter, and basically whenever it wants to send a message, it will use a chat room object, and this is the post message to all method and send message to channel. So if I want to use, in this case, this is a chat room, I could actually create another communication scheme. So it could be chat room 1, chat room 2, but this chatter class does not really need to be changed at all, right? So for now, in this case, I'm using chat room scheme here, but the different communication scheme could be implemented as the implementation of iChatroom, and then any other class, and other classes do not need to be changed. Okay, and this is a client. Okay, so client create the it create the chat room first. Okay, so this is the concrete communication implementation. Okay, and that could be selected during runtime, right? Okay, it could be chat room 1 and chat room 2, or whatever. Okay, so it will be selected during runtime, and we created 3 chatters, the colleague classes, and then each of these guys can actually post messages. And then so we just create a message, post a message, and we create a channel. The post message, what does post message do? Okay, it's just, this is the case, it actually sending to everyone. Okay, then so this is actually sending message to everyone, and this one is actually creating a channel, and then between the 2 person, Sang and Mary, and then Sang can send the message to channel. That message will be delivered to Mary. Okay, so that is a chat room example. Application, run it, and basically the Sang post good morning to all, Mary posted good afternoon to all, and Sang exchange this message with Mary. Okay, all right, so basically these chatters are communicating with mediator object called the chat room, which is implemented with iChatroom interface and chat room implementation class. Okay, so your homework is, let's say, Mediator. Okay, so we're gonna actually simulate the auction. Okay, so build an auction system through Mediator pattern. So you're going to create iAuction house interface, which has bid method. Okay, so it does have a bidder, an item, and the price it wants to bid. And then you're going to create concrete implementation class of auction house, which implements this bid method, and then create the bidder class, which has a reference to iAuction house, and then basically you create 3 bidders and create 1 item, and Sang is bidding with a $30 and Mary is bidding $35, something like that. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, I'll give you guys 10 minutes to do this exercise.